Yes. With these, the metal ones, you'll need a piece of leather on a hard surface, your jeweler's rouge. This is obviously supposed to be on the blade itself or on a blade stropper, but you're going to have to strop your blade and sharpen it every so often like you're a barber. But you have to maintain these, otherwise you go to cutting your leather and it starts dragging and it doesn't have that sharp edge anymore. That takes time that we need. So to cut that out, they have different versions of these in ceramic. Love them to death because it's like butter till you drop it. That's why you take care of your stuff. Then, if you really want to get into some weird blades, they have, if you look on that one piece with the lady that he showed you earlier, if you look at the hair, I'm not sure if it was used on that, but for hair, like maybe a horse's mane, they have these. It's really hard to see far away, but if you look up close, it's got several blades in there, so you're basically drawing on the hair. It's cutting several lines and doing all the bevel work for you.
Oh, no,
Problem is, you mess up, you mess up. That's it.
So.
I'll start that all over again so they can see.
I thought we were going to put that on YouTube.
I can show you all the,
Focus.
Okay.
But it looks
Hey,
so
Captain,
shiny.
not a cameraman.
There you go. That's good.
I don't know if you can see all the different, there you go. See all the different blades, the individual blades on that thing.
There's like 4 or 5 or 6.
Action blade. Now, I don't know where yours is. Welcome to an anime convention. We have one up in the room. Shrek was using one earlier. The hole punch.
Oh yeah, that thing's still. Oh no, Amelia took it at the desk. She's building goggles.
If you come by our table over in the dealer's room and ask to see the hole punch, just so you know what you're getting, by all means, do not get the cheap one from Walmart or Harbor Freight
Or Michael's.
or Michael's or whatever, because those you'll go to punch one hole and that's it. $5, waste of money. Spend the $30-40 to get one.
Yeah.
It basically looks like a spur with a handle and a little striking plate. It's weird. Basically, it's got a bunch of these on it. Different sizes. You're going to punch different size holes in your leather. The only problem with those is you can't go any further than what that little mouth allows. So they have individual ones that you actually hammer into the leather. I'll get into that in a sec. But it's good for punching holes for lacing, for rivets, you name it. And like I said, don't get the cheap ones because they don't have an open end for the leather to come out and basically poop everywhere. We call them leather droppings, the little circles of leather. They get everywhere and it looks like rat droppings.
Eventually, I'm sure they turn into rat.
Plus, you'll run into an issue that I ran into the other day. It's fairly common, but it doesn't happen all the time. Is every so often, you'll get one of these that's been used so much that for some reason, even if it is, dispensing the leather out the other side and everything, it cracks down the side, and you cannot use it. So, the beauty of these is you just take it off, go get another one for $3, and replace it. And they have different sizes that don't come normal on the hole punch. They're really, really tiny, good for sewing different parts of the leather.
Hey, don't I have a media department that's supposed to be doing this?
Corey, I don't know where he is. But you can buy a little kit, and there's 2 reasons why I really like the little kit. That it comes with the piece that these screw into, where you can go towards the middle of the leather and punch out holes. One is it comes with several of these that you can also use. It fits right into the squeeze handle, hole punch, whatever you want to call it. The other reason is cheap. Now, when you're using those, I am gonna smack that camera. My camera. Now, when you're using any kind of tools that is going to punch through your leather, and yes, I'm going to punch through your tool piece if you don't.
Ah, no, you're not.
Please, for
Smack
the
you.
love of all that is holy, get a backing. There's nothing worse than, other than hearing that chink of metal on metal, of hitting one of those tooling stamps with a metal hammer, there's nothing worse than hearing one of these hitting a hard surface after you punch it through the leather.
Or marble.
Second, yeah, that's
When
the most
when
common
when
thing.
it hits the marble, it makes a very distinctive sound. And if it's your money that bought it,
Throw
your
that
blood will
tool
go
away.
cold. It's trashed. The second you hear that tink, it's over.
Even worse than those, because those are fairly cheap.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless, the second you punch through the leather and you hear that chink, you gotta throw the tool away, or that bit, because it's done.
And it chips the marble.
When you gotta replace one of these, you're not a happy camper.
Those little boogers for one tool are $35 a pop.
These are for your belt
A
ends.
piece, not for the set. A piece.
They're for your belt ends. They come in obviously different sizes, depending on what you're using them for.
Don't do play. I don't know who played with this last. Bow chicka wow wow.
But for the love of all that is holy, get a backing. Which leads me to this. You can get these at Tandy and spend the $20 that it takes to get, it comes in a bigger square. Or you can get a mud flap. Or you can get a cutting board from Walmart or the dollar store. It works just the same. As long as you have some kind of backing that's going to take the punch through and protect your tool, get one of these. Please, for the love of all that's holy. Good thing about these, though, they're called poundo boards, is you put these under your marble slab, and
Not the ice cream.
No, I'm hungry.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You put it between your marble slab and your work surface, especially if you have a computer desk like what I work on. It absorbs a lot of the pounding of the tools and everything, and it's not as loud. It doesn't knock all your decorations off your desk. For some reason, it absorbs all the vibration from you using your tools and everything.
You get somebody to sew you a canvas bag like this and put your cutters in here. Like I said, for a full set, and these are even worse. We'll go into who and all the books and stuff like that. These are the Al Stolman edition cutters. This set runs
A lot.
almost $150 for the set, just a couple of cutters.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things don't play. Once they're $30-40 a pop.
What can you buy most of these tools at?
Candy leather.
Candy leather?
Mm-hmm.
This
But
was
you can
for candy. If you're seeing this,
You can actually sharpen those.
yes, you can. Just be careful with it. You will if you. I'm going to show that book here in a minute. There's a book that tells you how to sharpen your tools. Get it, learn it, love it. If you sharpen it the wrong way, you can toss it out in the lake because it's trash.
You're not actually sharpening it, you're burnishing it. You're actually, doing a buff to it more than a
Yeah, removing the little
burrs.
burrs and chips that will mess up your blades and your projects. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Along the same lines as those, same mechanic, me caveman, me beat on leather. Same with a lot of the leather tools that you use. Is these are good for a lot of different things. If you look on the goggles where the belt buckle is, there's got to be a part for the little hinge thing to go through. That's what this is for. This can also be used for a lot of different things. If you have a strap that's supposed to go through a part of the leather, this will cut that size oval cut through it if you need it. They come in different sizes, different lengths or whatever, so depending on the size strap that has to go through it, there you go. These aren't cheap either. They're about the same price. Now what you can do, kind of backtracking a bit, for the hole punch, is you can actually buy a set. They're meant for stuff like canvas and auto stuff, right?
Yeah, yellow punches.
These come in sets and they're not really that expensive. It can actually save you money. These are good for, like I said, punching through center parts of the leather, and they usually come in a lot bigger sizes than what you can get at the leather store that are. It comes in a bigger set, so
Some of the
you.
bigger ones are over there. They're in the blue.
In here. But that'll save you money, and they're really sharp. The only thing is they take up more room in storage, but I'd take that any day over having to constantly change out the different size hole punch on it. You just grab the size you need and go. Let's see. As far as tolling stamps, there's a nifty little tool that you can get. It comes with several of these little spokes. These, when your leather's wet, you run it wherever you're going to do stitching, and there's different sizes for how far apart you want the stitching to be. Now you can take these off, interchange them. Tandy sells brass wheels of designs that you can roll on the edges of your leather. I don't see it right here.
No, they're in the absent container. I'm getting there. Come on, you're still talking about it.
You can do edge designs, and it's just a perpetual design, however long you want it to be on there, and you gotta push down pretty hard on these suckers to transfer the design, but that's what they look like. They come in a bunch of different styles, and you can change them out.
So what, $3 a piece if I'm correctly?
I think so, 3 or 4 or 5. They're not too expensive, and they're really useful. Now, something we've learned on those, a lot of people are going to be aching to go like that. It takes a lot of pressure to use these. Something I found, it might not seem like it gives you that much control at first, but use it like this, like you're about to stab somebody, like a serial killer.
Serial killer method.
And other hand, putting pressure, you want to roll, and that actually transfers it a lot cleaner and a lot nicer the first time around, because trust me, you mess up with one of these and you have to go over it, it's really hard. You have to make sure you have the design lined up and everything just right, and it's a real pain in the neck.
And the wetter your leather is, the better it imprints.
Yep. It's like a tongue twister.
Yeah.
The wetter the leather, the better.
Yeah.
Weather in Spain. Leads me to my next point. If you do mess up when you're tooling, even if it is a really deep imprint, with the tooling stamps of these, I have found that if you use something to burnish out the mess up, and you do it quick enough before the leather starts to set, you can actually burnish out that mess up. It's almost like an eraser. This might not do it as well as if you get what's called a leather spoon. It's basically a stylus with a kind of curved, rounded edge. Lay that on your leather and rub out the design.